Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the Rocks Total Entertainment. Thank you for watching. Tonight, we have Mr. Peter Cat of Playhouse, along Mr. Doug Franklin. So we're super excited to have them on. They'll be joining us shortly. How's everybody's 23 going so far? It's been crazy. It's crazy tailwind here in Las Vegas. So there's a lot going on. So tonight it will be fun to talk to Mr. Peter Cat and see where his band is going in 23. And lots going on coming up in the next few weeks. Next week, I have Mr. Jeffrey Carlson checking in on the Rocks Total Entertainment. We're going to check in with him and see what his plans are for 23 with his band. He's been doing a lot of solo projects, so super excited to talk to him as well. In the next coming weeks, I have Faith in Failure coming February 12th for a special On the Rocks. This band, I've been actually following them for a couple years now, actually pre-pandemic. They were supposed to be on my show and then everything shut down. So finally, I'm going to get them on the show and we're going to talk about, they've got some great new music out. So it's going to be super exciting to talk to them as well. And then February 5th, a real special show with Mr. Justin Ross, my special friend from Texas, great guy. This guy can rock with the best of them. Great. If you haven't heard of Justin Ross or Faith in Failure, go to Spotify.com and their music is right there. So definitely check them out and make sure tonight that you're liking and subscribing, hitting that bell. So there's a lot of future shows coming up with a lot of great people. I have Mr. Corey Brown for a special birthday show, March 5th. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Also, I have a lot of people asking me about the Kings of Thrash. This band, I am so excited. I will be there for their first show on the 23 tour in Joliet, Illinois. So it's going to be super exciting. It's my hometown area, and we're going to thrash it up, man. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you're in the Joliet, Illinois area, definitely do it, man, because this band is on the road and I will be covering the show live. Pre-party, VIP meet and greet, the whole 9 yards. So definitely come hang out with us. So right now we're just waiting for Mr. Peter Cat and Mr. Doug Franklin. So they'll be joining us here shortly. A lot is going on in Vegas. We have some great shows coming up. We have a Jeff Blondo music bash coming up to Vamped on January 25th. It's going to be great. Stephen Piercy is going to be there. Danny Coker, of course, Jeff Blondo. So it's going to be a great show. So if you're in the Vegas area and you're not doing anything on Wednesday, the 25th, come rock with us. It's going to be a great show. So I'm so excited to talk to Mr. Peter Cat and Mr. Doug Franklin. Just waiting on them. See what's happening. It's a Sunday night. A lot of football today. I know there's football fans out there. I'm a big Ravens fan. I think they're playing, or they played, or they're playing now. I don't know. I've been working all day, so not sure, but yeah, I know New York's in it. Yeah. Us, I feel like I'm a Midwester, I'm a West Coaster, and I'm an East Coaster. So I pretty much cover all the bases. So yeah, definitely. So anyway, thank you for watching. I know we're just kind of waiting for everybody to get in. Normally they're already in, but technical issues with Zoom has been fun. So anyway, make a long story short. Yeah. What else is going on in the world of entertainment? Get your tickets for the Kings of Thrash. Definitely come party with us. Get their new live record, The Mega Years, on Cleopatra. I can't even say Cleopatra. CleopatraRecords.com. The DVD is amazing. It was recorded at the Whiskey A Go-Go in West Hollywood. I saw a couple clips from that show, and that place was so packed. I don't think I've ever seen it that packed. So it's going to be a super great video DVD set. So definitely go out and get it. We do definitely want to sell out this first show in Joliet. So come on, people, all my Joliet peeps, let's sell that show out. Yeah. A lot of great concerts coming up. We have a lot of new music coming out from the Raskins. Their new record will be coming out shortly, along with the tour to follow. So I will keep everyone posted on that. I will be attending a few of those shows as well. So it's going to be a super fun 23 for the Vegas Rock Goddess. Yeah, can't wait. It's going to be super cool. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Somebody's asking me what am I listening to right now? Well, I'm listening to a lot of different, I'm actually listening to a lot of 80s bands. You know, of course, 80s influence for me. New music, Daughtry has a new single out, which is really super good. Disturbed has a new record out. That's pretty amazing. A lot of new music coming out in 23. So we'll be definitely getting more into that. So we're just waiting for them to connect to Zoom. Yep. Waiting. Another question came in. How long have you been rocking? I'm like, are you kidding? Probably since I was like probably 2 years old. When my dad used to listen to Johnny Cash records and Waylon Jennings records. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had all kinds of musical influences all my life. So yeah, and I ended up here on YouTube. It's been fun though. I really enjoy it. I think I enjoy going to the shows too, and seeing my favorite bands as well. So yeah, it's very cool. Just waiting. We're still waiting on Mr. Peter Cat. Here we go. We're gonna start, people. All right, we got Mr. Peter Cat in. Hello, Peter.
Let's go.
Turn your mic on, bro.
Is it on now? Can you hear me?
Then we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Should be right down on the bottom there.
I think it's on the bottom. Where the fuck is it saying?
We know we love technical issues. The Vegas Rock Goddess is totally familiar with that. Yeah, your mic is off, Peter.
I'm trying to get it on.
There?
I can hear you.
Still can't hear you.
Hold on here.
I can see you, but I can't hear you.
That's weird.
Let me see.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic's on.
Yeah, you need to turn your mic on. Doug's coming on. Do. There he is, Mr. Dangerous Doug Franklin. Coming on to On the
Hello?
Rocks Total Entertainment.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Doug, are you there, bro?
What's up, peeps?
Can you hear me,
Are
Doug?
you there?
I
can you hear me?
hear and see both of your lovely faces right now.
But Cal, can you hear me?
Is everybody there? Because I can't hear anybody.
I can hear you, Pete.
I can hear her and you.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, so I hear her and I hear you. I see you both, but she can't hear us.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go. Carol, someone else is, my bass player is joining. He might join a couple seconds late, he said, but he'll be here.
So
You
how
heard
is
that, right,
everybody
Doug?
doing tonight?
I'm always good.
We are great. Just where we need to be on a Sunday night.
Exactly, bro.
With the Vegas Rock Goddess.
Of
Hey,
course, we should be there in
no.
Vegas.
That'd be better.
All right, Danny's coming in.
Wonderful. There we go, rock star.
I can't hear anybody.
All three of you have like
There. Oh man, what's up,
These
Danny?
Dude, you have a really cool background there, Doug. Holy shit! How come you guys have all cool backgrounds?
I don't know. I think that on my Zoom settings I have it blurred, even though it's pretty badass back there.
How do I do that, man? I also want a cool shit like that. Share, reaction, chat, app, more. What's this? Meeting settings. What's this?
All right. Trying to get everybody situated here. Don't you love technical problems? Hey, Danny, how are you?
Can you hear us, Dan?
I think he's having the same issue Carol had. He's not muted on your end, is he, Carol?
No, I mean, I can hear him.
Can you hear him, Pete? I can't hear Danny.
This is how it usually works, folks. We're trying to get the kinks out.
Just
Doug, I can hear you.
Yeah, Zoom Live has always done this kind of stuff.
No, I mean, Peter, why don't you say something real quick?
Yo, Carol, what's going on?
Yep, I can hear him. Danny, what about you? Why don't you give us something here? We can check your mics. This is how it usually get the kinks out. No, I mean, Peter, why don't you say something real quick?
Yo.
Yep. This is crazy.
Can you hear Danny?
She said she can hear him. I can't hear Danny. You hear us, Danny?
Yeah, he can hear us.
Well, he was Montreal's lip sync champion in 1986. So
That's awesome. I love that. Well, Danny, say something. Nope, I still can't hear him.
Is this show live?
It's so crazy to me.
yeah, we're live on YouTube right now,
All right,
guys.
let's.
Can you hear me now?
I
Yeah.
heard
I'm sure
you.
the
I
folks
heard
that are
him.
watching right now
I
are getting
heard him.
kicks out of this.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
It was like my excitement level was like that when that mute friend of yours that hasn't talked in 16 years finally says something.
All right,
Way to go, Danny.
let's somebody say something.
Yo,
Yo, Peter, why don't you just start talking? Tell us a little bit about the band and the little bit of history on them and Playhouse.
right. Well, it goes back to literally to the 70s, let's say. Me and Danny met each other in second grade. Our love for the movie Grease was our connection. And then we went to grade school together. And then the first few years of high school, we were in contact. Danny got busted by the cops one night drinking alcohol on the subway. And, his dad reprimanded him and sent him off to a party and told him, I think, if you're going to drink, keep your booze in the bag. And at that same party that night, me and Danny hooked up and we're like, hey, what are you doing now? And we started a band and recruited some guys from the same high school. And here we are 35 years later. Still
Wow.
a band.
Yeah, your band is pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about, so that's how you got in touch with Danny. Danny, how do you feel about hooking up with Peter here in the band?
Oh, I thought, it was one of those serendipity moments there, So it was very cool. I even actually remember it was at the top of the staircase or in the staircase, going upstairs. It was an open house, parents were away.
Right.
And, it was pretty cool. And then, since then, we've been pretty much rocking and rolling.
Yeah, you guys have a great band. I've been following Peter for a couple of years now, probably pre-pandemic. Let's get Doug Franklin in on the conversation. Doug, bear down, bro.
I am present. Yes, how can I help you?
Doug, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Playhouse.
Oh boy. Do you want the clean version?
Hey, we'll take any version we can take right now.
Anyway, I'm just kidding. No, we have to go back to probably when I first got involved with this as heavy as I got involved with it. Would it have been 2020, Pete?
No, it was actually 2021, I think.
Okay, because it's weird to me when you first get involved with this thing during the pandemic, and everyone that's been in the business forever is telling you this is weird, this is odd. We got to be creative with how we do stuff. So anyway, through a guy named Steve Minton, who's on one of the he's actually quite a few of the fan groups on Facebook that we all pretty much all belong to. Steve Minton approached me, I guess, well, I'll give you 2021, Pete. I don't remember what month. It's all kind of a blur now.
November.
But, he said, hey, he's like, you guys should consider talking to these guys. And he had sent me a few tracks from Rock and Roll Circus. And I fell in love with the music right away. And then we kind of lost touch. Pete and I were talking for a minute or two around that time. And it wasn't until a few months later that you hit me up again, Pete, and said, hey, you got to hear our new stuff. I was like, cool. Dude, I'm telling you, you guys, anyone that knows me or follows me on Facebook, you'll know how highly I speak of this album. Dancing at Funerals.
It's an awesome record.
And the funny thing is that since, we had these songs way before they were released, I wish I had started counting how many times I listened to it. I've heard this album so many times, more than I think I've ever listened to any one album ever. And I still listen to it. It's one of my go-tos on Spotify, or when I'm home and I'll just put on their MP3s, and it's still fresh to me. None of it, you know how you overplay something, you go, God damn, I'm burnt out on this. I can't fucking do it anymore. At least to this point, I'm not there yet. I can listen to this over and over again.
Right.
And I'm sure most people will agree with me on that.
That's
Thanks,
super
Doug.
cool. Danny, what do you, you're so quiet over there, Danny.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt Doug. Throwing roses.
Doug, we'll be getting to him sometime.
I was
Hour.
I was paying attention because I thought the pot was gonna come. You know, and I wanted to duck.
I thought he was gonna. You know what I really thought? I thought he was gonna pass the can around. We all take a swig.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Hey, that's my kind of party. I'm not gonna lie.
You're
Maybe
right,
one
Doug.
day.
I know all about that, man.
Well,
Yes,
one day-
we've shared a few shots over there at Vamped a few times. I know that.
Well, Peter, I'm super excited to have you on because I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. Tell me about your musical influences when you were making this new record.
Everyone, just everyone, every style, for maybe the exception of jazz. You might have figured out by now, Danny and me are partners in crime, and we both have such a huge musical taste. We just like anything with a great song in it, we like, and we absorb and we study, and then we throw that ingredients into our soup. And but influences, I mean, everyone from Bon Jovi, Judas Priest, Guns, the Stones, Zeppelin, John Cougar Mellencamp.
What about you, Danny? What are some of your musical influences?
Very similar to what Pete just mentioned. On the hard rock end, AC/DC. I really like country. I listen to a lot of country and southern rock as well. I listen to pop. I listen to a lot of R&B, old R&B like Stevie Wonder and stuff like that.
Motown
James-
feel, yeah.
So it's all over the place, really, to be honest with you. But like Pete, it really comes down to quality of songs and hooks and melodies, even production, kind of like what Doug was referring to. When an album doesn't wear out, it's because it's got a lot of layers. You're peeling that onion, and there's there's more that you pick up on every time you listen to it, whether it's just maybe a guitar hook in the background or some keyboards or the way something is harmonized. So when you're first listening to something, you're listening to it in a very general sense, I guess. And then as you like it and it connects with you, and then you keep listening to it and you pick up on things, right? And with the ideas we had as a band and with our producer Kevin, even before we did the album, we had a list of things that we were like, okay, we want horns somewhere. We want, there was like a checklist of things that we were trying to do with the record and incorporate, and the types of songs we wanted to do as well. Whether it was, a curveball like Champagne, some rockers and ballads, and just to have a lot of different ingredients into that soup, right? So the same thing when you eat something really good, right? First bite, you just enjoy it, and then the more bites you take, you start like, oh, wait a minute, is that whatever spice, or you start tasting, or even a good whiskey, or whatever it is. Anything that's of quality has depth. So that's what we tried to do. The people that have heard it,
that
we
comes
get that
off in
a
your
lot.
music for sure. I mean,
We
you've got some great influences, and it's really a pleasure to listen to your music. It's,
thank you.
and I mean, Doug, I mean, he loves you guys.
Yes, he does. And I love Doug. Well, we love Doug.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things when you absolutely on all levels click with somebody, Uh, I totally from the get-go, I'm like, yeah, these are my kind of guys right here.
Yeah,
Even
let's
Pete.
talk. Yeah, let's talk a little, Pete. Let's talk a little bit about Doug. Man, it's gonna be fun right now tonight. Okay, Pete, let's talk a little serious now. I want you to kind of explain to the viewers what the music scene is like right now where you live.
Okay, so um, we try to keep our hands on the pulse of everything in general. Um, at the moment, it's probably the same as Vegas. Any band playing original music, it's very, very tough. And you got to keep at it. You got to promote the hell of yourself. You got to be networking. It's not easy, especially if you do original stuff. So at the moment, I would say for us, it's been good. Like, I won't lie, last year, especially in our hometown, we've had 3 sold out shows. But in general, it's tough. So just keep at it. Because if you're doing something good, people will like it eventually and they will show up. But it's tough. I won't lie.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about social media and how it's affecting your band. If like I don't know if you I recently did an interview with Victor Santiago from Boston. He's a friend of mine, and we were talking seriously about social media and how a lot of bands don't embrace it. And I definitely made a statement, and I'm sticking to that statement. If your band is not involved in social media, you're dead in the water. Okay? And your band is totally involved in social media. Because, I mean, Pete, I see you all week long. You know, your band is definitely visual and it's out there. What are your thoughts on social media?
Well, so how it works in our band, Danny gives me the content. He sets up everything. Any platform you see us on, Danny's been doing that at 3 a.m. And then I usually get an email the next morning saying, this is up, we're good to go. And then my job is just to push that out there and do it in a way that we reach as many people as possible. It's not always easy because you're always trying to, as you know, you're trying to find content the whole time.
Right.
But yeah, that's how we do. We just keep pushing it and hope for the best. Hopefully we're interacting.
Yeah, I mean, getting the fans interactive with you is definitely 200% the goal. Because I know you guys are on TikTok now. You're on Instagram. You're on Facebook. Pretty much on all platforms.
Right.
And, you know, as a band, yeah, you have to be.
We had to cancel our Pornhub subscription. It wasn't really.
Shut up, Doug. I hear you down there.
And the OnlyFans.
Hey, that's not in the script I sent you, Pete.
It's okay. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, just getting your band out there continuously, you know, in a very cool manner. Of course, we talked about that a little bit, and not oversaturating is super, super important. Doug, we know about this. Am I right?
Yeah, there's that fine line between, you know, where you want to make sure that every human being on the planet gets your stuff, and then saying, okay, how many times are the people going to see the same shit over and over and over again?
Right.
But the way I look at it is, with what we're up against, as far as, you know, trying to stay on our level, where, you know, the monsters in the business are the ones that control this shit. They've got all the money, and this business is all about money. So, I mean, the way I look at it is you know, too much is never enough. I'm going to keep doing it. And apparently, you know, if it annoys you, fucking click somewhere else, you know?
Right. Exactly. I mean, I mean, we're both, me and Doug are in social media. I mean, I've been so involved in social media for probably for about 10 years. And yeah, I mean, I promote everybody in this business. And I deal with a lot of, I'm not going to say haters. Haters is a little strong.
You can call them haters.
No,
We don't.
and the thing is, Carol, is if you're doing it right, you're gonna have some fucking haters.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's just fact.
Bring it on, as I say. Bring it on. But you know, in this business, you know, when pandemic was going on, you guys were still out there, Pete, because I still saw you posting.
Yeah, we never stop. 35
Yeah.
years, we don't stop.
Yeah, and that was a good thing about pandemic, because it did show a lot of these bands, you know, yeah, you're not on the road. You're not in the studio. So you better be doing something.
Yeah, and it also put everybody on the same level for a minute too. Whether you are huge, you're not going to fill an arena as popular as you are. Guess what, buddy? You're stuck here trying to figure out how to make online work for you, you know,
Right.
live streams. To me, I think that's the best thing that came out of the pandemic was this whole new era of live streams where you can basically set up in your garage and play for people, not have to move off your couch, do whatever, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, I was talking to bands all through pandemic. I mean, I was talking to bands that were stuck in Mexico and couldn't get out. And the only thing that they had was social media and Zoom. I mean, that was it. They're just slowly starting, believe it or not, to get back out there. So, I mean, for some of these bands, some of the stuff is still out there and they're still struggling with it. So, yeah. I mean, how about you, Pete? Are you guys planning on doing a tour?
Ask Danny that. I have no clue.
Come on, Danny.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Probably in the summer.
Yeah. Are you guys going to maybe get on some festivals?
Definitely.
Working on all that.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, because I mean, I'd love to see you guys play live. That would be one of my goals as a Vegas rock goddess. I need to see Playhouse live.
I would kidnap these guys today and bring them down to do a show at Vamped if I could magically make that happen. Because
I know. Yeah.
Vegas was made for this band. I'm telling you.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You know.
You don't have to kidnap me to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
What about you, Pete? You're ready to go to Vegas, aren't you?
We're coming.
Yep.
We're coming. We haven't mapped out this year yet. There's been talks about a few things. In the next following weeks, we'll have a better indication where this is all heading. As everyone knows, we are currently looking for a new drummer. And we have a couple of really strong prospects. So hopefully in the next month, you'll be hearing an announcement about a new drummer. And that will come with, I assume, an announcement of a few shows.
Very good. Are you still taking auditions for drummers? Do you want to maybe somebody out there might be a drummer, man, that'd be perfect for your band?
Playhouse Rocks, a Playhouse Rock Band, Facebook. Send us a message. We're still looking, though. We have a couple of guys that are serious contenders right now. I don't want to mention any names, but yeah, we should have some good news soon.
Very good. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about that, Pete, for sure.
Us too.
Yeah, for sure. Because we got to get you to Vegas.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Dangerous Doug's going to make that happen.
I am sure going to try. Even if it kills me.
Right. The Vegas Rock Goddess has retired from that part of her repertoire. So,
That's
but
and you know what? To be 100% honest, from what I've seen, that is one of the biggest pains in the asses in this industry, is putting together a show.
yeah, I mean, you've seen it firsthand, Doug. We've had
Dude,
this
I'm
convers-
telling you. I'm telling
We've
you.
had this conversation many times. I've put my neck on the line for a lot of bands. So,
Well, it's just funny when you put all the work into it, and then you've got this vision in your head of this massive crowd showing up and just it being this huge success, and then you're sitting there going, where the fuck is everybody? And that's the problem with Vegas. There's so much going on any given weekend that there's so many other things that people are like, okay, are we going to do this or this? So usually
Yeah.
whatever is down on the strip or whatever usually wins out.
yeah, but you know
Yeah.
what? I mean, let's talk a minute about Vegas, because Vegas is becoming the music hub for the West Coast. I mean, I don't even consider LA the music hub anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, they're closing the Viper Room. I heard they're going to reopen the Viper Room. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff.
We were there a couple months ago, my sister and I.
Yeah.
It was, mind you, it was on a Thursday night. It was dead.
Yeah.
Did see a
Again,
really cool band
yeah.
there. Though.
Again, the whiskey is the whiskey. I mean, I don't think that place is ever going to not be there. But a lot of these bands are migrating to Vegas. You know, we've got Sebastian Bach living here. We've got Stephen Pearcy. There's just, I mean, a lot of people are multi-coasters. They have a place in LA and then they have a place here. So, I
So
mean,
let's get Playhouse there.
well, yeah. I mean, we need to get Playhouse here.
That would be nice.
Doug and I can have a conversation off the air, but
All righty.
I might be able to give him a few ideas anyway.
Cool.
I am definitely open to all suggestions to get these assholes here.
Pete,
Sorry, Danny.
let's talk about the first album that you ever bought with your own
Ooh.
money.
The Partridge Family.
With your own money?
Yep.
Wow. That's classic right there, man. What
And
about
What
you?
year?
What
what
about
year
you,
was that?
Danny? What was the first album that you bought with your own money?
Back in Black.
Jeez.
Okay, Doug, you're next. What about you?
Mine was also from 1980, but it was Kiss Unmasked. I remember it plain
Ooh.
as day. It was at a Montgomery Ward's record section. It was marked down to how it was next to nothing. And I was like, I think that's what really started my love for the band Kiss.
Yeah. That's
I
very
still
cool.
have it too. It's right behind me.
Pretty
Nice.
sweet.
Tell
Who
us
has
Pete, tell us a little bit about the writing process for the new record. I mean, how long were you guys actually writing it?
Let Danny explain that to you. He has a way better memory than I do about everything.
Okay, Danny.
The writing process. For the most part, myself, KK, Eric will send music to Pete, riffs. I tend to send demos that are a little more elaborate. We sometimes jam. Pete writes on his own as well. And that's it. When we send something to Pete that he likes, he records vocals over it, melody. And then at the end of the day, we had about close to 40
Wow.
songs in various states of completion. And then we went into studio with Kevin Jardine, and he listened to every single one of them. And we narrowed it down to what's on the record. So there was a lot. You heard Kevin say this a lot. Okay, this is stock. This is stock. You know, it was just whatever. It's okay. Not a bad song. nothing great. Then, you know, you'd hear something and be like, oh yeah, this is good, you know. We agreed probably on about 75% of it, I would say. And at the end of the day, I think, you know, we've all made peace with it, I guess.
Carol, I'll definitely give credit to Danny and Kevin. They had quite a good vision of where this was going, and they were probably more enlightened than I was at the beginning. I kind of went along with the ride, but as things were going, I definitely became a believer. So, but all credit to Danny and Kevin. They seem to have quite a strong vision of what was going to happen. So,
Yeah, I can't wait to hear these songs live, because I think, you know, the record is great, but seeing you guys live performing those songs, I think, is really going to make an impact on your fans.
sure.
Definitely. What do you think, Doug?
Well, that when I think of this band, I think about seeing them live. I mean, that's just how I approach any band that I really start to like, and especially the ones that I end up working with. Live show. That's why we all do this, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you get past all the business shit and all that. It's about a live event. And these guys were made for the stage. So
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, we just can't wait to see you guys out on the road. Definitely playing some shows, because you guys have been playing shows where you are, right? And you guys have been selling out shows, correct?
Well, we play around the country.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do better in our hometown, right? So, but we're talking about 400 or 500 seat venues. So, to sell them out 3 times in 1 year in your own city, that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, you guys have a great following.
Yeah, we do, and very loyal.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of them, by the way, I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of them, quite a few that they were seeing us back in 87.
Yeah.
And now they're coming to the show, and it's like they're bringing their sons and daughters, and it's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
mind blowing. It's like second generation of fans, you know.
but that's great though,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because not a lot of bands can say that.
Pretty much. No band can say that.
I know.
And they're buying merch, and I mean, there was one gig they were starting a whole mosh pit, like 5 or 6 of them. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really badass. Hey, Carol, do you mind if I ask a question? I just
No, go ahead.
I like to engage with the people that are on the live chat. If you guys are watching, just go ahead and type in what your favorite song from the album is, so that there's a reason why I'm asking, because there is a great story to one of the songs on this album that a certain person in the band absolutely 100%, 150% refused to have this on the album, and it ended up on the album, and it's one of the coolest songs on there. Hopefully somebody answers.
And who would that be?
Without giving it away, it's
Okay.
Waiting to see if anyone's gonna respond.
We'll wait a second here.
So we've had what, 4 videos?
5.
5. Oh shit! It's time for a 6th, man.
Send us the cash.
I don't know. That's just me speaking as my normal fanboy self, because
Right.
this album to me is comparable. Now, don't get mad at me, people, for saying this, but you guys remember when Hysteria came out? If you're like me, you're an album listener. You start from beginning, listen to it all the way through. Well, to me, this album has that same feel, because you remember Def Leppard for what, 5-6 years just had a single out every so often from that album, and it just kept going and going and going. This is the first time in that many years that I've seen an album come out that really we could have gone anywhere with the singles we put out. It was actually a tough choice figuring out what to actually throw out there.
Well, Danny brought up that exact example in pre-production and production. If Def Leppard can do it, we should also be able to do it.
That's
And
cool.
that was our mentality, right? As many singles as possible.
Yeah, that's very cool. We're getting a lot of people in the chat, Peter.
All righty.
A lot of fans out there checking us out tonight.
Wonderful. Good for
Come
you.
on, come on, peeps. What is your favorite album or favorite song from Dancing at Funerals? If someone actually made me answer that, I don't think I could. Maybe The Storm would have to be
I
that's
like
the
that
first.
song.
That's
Yeah.
the first one I fell in love with when Pete sent me a few tracks from it.
Me,
I
it's,
agree.
it's definitely The Storm. My favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
You have one, Danny?
No.
He likes all of them. It doesn't matter.
Well, I guess it'd be like picking what your favorite kid is. You know, it's not really. Well, for some people, it's probably easy to do, but
For me, The Storm was the breakthrough song. Like, Danny sent me this country song, and well, it was country, right, Dan?
Yeah. I wasn't lying when I said I like country.
And I also love country music, so it was just very. I hate to use this word in Playhouse, but the music was very profound, and I was just so taken back by it. And then the melody came to me, and I knew at that point, not only were we doing something good, we were going to do something a tiny bit different. So I think that was the key song for me for the album, but it definitely is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I think we know it's going to sound like Playhouse. So even if it is country, when you write it, most good songs you can just sit there with an acoustic and play it anyways, right? So
Right.
So at the end of the day, like when whether it's a KK song or riff or Pete himself, writing the chords and he's got a melody. I mean, once it's the five of us playing, that Eric's not going to play a country solo, and KK is going to bring out his ECDC type rhythm, and the song's going to end up sounding like us. But when the source is different, I think it gives a different end result than if the Germany idea, if you will, or the start of the idea actually came from the source of what you're trying to sound like at the end. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that, but trying to write a hard rock song and you approach it like a hard rock song, then it's going to sound like a hard rock song. So if you do
we've gotten some feedback here from people. So we got a guy named
Al's a long way down.
Yeah. David McLean likes it. Nitro J likes it. My buddy Cindy Gossett in Phoenix likes it. I like it too. Like I said, it's impossible for me to actually pick my favorite one. And that's through listening to the again, I was sit here and babble on about how many times I've heard this. You change your favorite song every now and then. Like, damn, I can't think of the name of it right now. I actually made myself speechless.
Which one?
I mean, the last one we had a video for, Million Miles.
Million Miles.
Million Miles. Hate You. That's the one I'm thinking of. Hate You now is my favorite one.
But there's no video for that.
There should be.
Well,
I'm
there's
just
a-
saying.
Hey, Doug.
There's a few songs early on. Like I mean, we know Pete, his story, but I know Kevin really liked Last Kiss. And I was like, yeah, it's good. I like it. Now I love it. So I know what you mean, Doug. It's that, yeah, certain things change. Too Old to Die Young. I was okay with it, and now I really, really like it.
It's
So,
definitely one of my favorites too now.
so
Here,
it
I
kinda varies.
have a question for you guys. Now, when you hear a song, you've already done it, it's on the record, and you listen to it again. Do you ever say, wow, I could have changed that? Maybe I should have did this?
For me, not often. No.
No.
For me, it's at the beginning when Kevin sends the mix. I go through the whole gamut of emotions. Like I get angry, I get frustrated. I'm like, damn, what the hell? What were we thinking? Or how could that have, or whatever. And then after a while, it just kind of cleanses, and you're able to listen to it more as with a little more detachment, I guess. Because listen, when you're making a record, I mean, there's arguments you lose, right? You don't always get your
Right.
way.
Because
So-
I mean, when you guys write, that's it. It's done. That's it.
Yeah, and then you're sitting there, and everybody's there, right? So you listen, and then you're like, oh, why is the solo like that? Or why is there backing vocals here? Or why did Kevin do this with the intro? And then, but that's really at the beginning, and usually not too much, at least for me. And then after a while, it's just you forget about those things, those arguments
Right.
where you had a debate for 20 minutes about,
Right.
how loud that keyboard's going to be in the background, or how low it should be, or some effect. Are we putting it or not putting it? So yeah, and then at the end, you just kind of let it go and start moving on. I mean, we're writing new songs now too, right? So
Yeah, whatever
Very
you guys
excited about that too.
Yeah, whatever you guys are doing, I mean, it's definitely working.
Yeah, we've definitely we recorded 2 brand new songs in November that haven't been released yet. And when we finally got the mixes, me and Danny came to the same conclusion that, wow, we can still actually write a really good song. So at least we know that. And hopefully there will be a follow-up to Dancing at Funerals at some point.
Very cool. That's
in
awesome.
2023.
Nice.
That's very exciting, because if you remember, Pete, I may have told you too, Danny, when right before we released the album, we're all getting those pre-release jitters and all that. I think I said to Pete and Danny, I'm like, I got one question. How the fuck are you guys going to even top this one? That's a tall order. I'm telling you guys, this album is that good.
It's still a valid question, but I don't think it's something that we're trying to do. We're not trying to top it. We wouldn't compare these songs to new songs. It's just we write in a certain way, and definitely me and Danny are very conscious of every note. Every little section is debated, and not in a clinical way, just in a way where can we live with this, and are we happy with this?
Right.
So I assume the follow-up or the next record, we'll like it enough to release it.
Really cool. That's really super cool. I'm really looking forward to all this new music. I'm gonna
So
ask
am I, 'cause that's my favorite part. To be honest,
Danny.
we were talking about playing live before, and
Yeah.
I enjoy playing live. But if I can only do one thing, I would pick songwriting over everything else that has to do with music.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty powerful statement. Nice.
That's me. Like that.
Okay, so I
That's
have,
what I was.
okay, before we wrap this up, and it's been a great almost hour here.
Thanks.
What was the first concert, Pete, that you ever went to?
Okay, I gotta say the first two because it was the same summer. Cheap Trick, and 6 weeks later I saw Queen.
Oh, wow. You know, as a matter of fact, Cheap Trick was my first show too, Pete,
Wow,
because I'm from
Nice.
Chicago, so they're from my hometown.
nice.
Yeah, I love
Man.
Cheap Trick. They're awesome. What about you, Danny? What was the first show you ever saw, concert?
The same as the first album I ever bought. So it was AC/DC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
It was
very
not
cool.
the Back in Black tour, though. It was the
Okay.
For Those About the Rock tour.
Oh, okay. So you still saw the Brian Scott, right?
Brian
Or
Johnson.
whatever. Yeah, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian Johnson. Yeah. So
All
you saw
good.
his version rather than
Yes.
Bon Scott.
And Midnight Rider opened up.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know who they are, but I remember that's who it was.
That's
I
cool.
wonder where they got their name from.
And it was a
Midnight
female
Devils?
singer who was wearing a one-piece leopard onesie.
Oh, very memorable.
There's a lot of things I remember about that show actually. So,
There's a lot of things I don't remember about Cheap Trick, but we won't get into that now. Doug.
You just made me segue into my first show.
Okay.
The most
Insane.
Okay, so I'll tell you the year. It was early 1985. We were living in outside of Pittsburgh. So the headlining band is my absolute favorite band of all time. It was the first time I got to see Kiss. But the opening act is what changed my life forever. It was Wasp on their first tour.
Oh, wow.
The visual of this band. Here you are, you're a 14-year-old kid, never been to a show before. The house lights go down, this red glowing light, and these two big skulls are staring at you. And here comes this crazy motherfucker with a saw blade hanging from his crotch. I'm like, this is it.
yes.
Amazing.
That show was just amazing. It was the Kiss, it was the Animalized tour.
Yeah.
Bruce Kulick had just taken over the lead guitar
Right.
spot. What a show. It changed me forever.
I'm sorry, Doug, but that's not going to top the onesie that Danny saw.
No, but I bet at one time Blackie probably wore a onesie like that when he was in New York Dolls, probably.
Okay. Maybe. We don't know.
He wasn't in New York Dolls, Blackie? Really?
You don't still have that onesie, do you, Danny?
No.
Wasn't
I did
Blackie in that other band with Nikki Sixx?
London?
London, yeah.
I saw Wasp open for Sabbath.
Me
I think It
too.
was the 7th. Yeah, I remember you were there.
Kind of. I
Yeah,
was
well-
there, kind of.
Yeah, that would have been 86, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was
I
like
remember
the Ray Gillis-
I remember because when that tour came to Pittsburgh, and I think it was Tony Martin that was on vocals for Sabbath
No, it was
on
Ian
that
Gill.
tour.
In Gillen.
Was it?
Ian
Or maybe
Gillan.
no, wasn't.
No, because he was only with them for like one
For
brief,
Born Again.
like
yeah.
yeah, that was like 82 or something like that.
So I have seen Sabbath a few times then.
But yeah, I think that was when Wasp was on their Last Command tour. So I remember because I think Kiss came back around the same time. And, as a kid, I didn't even have my first job yet. I'm like, I only had so much money for one. So I'm like, yeah, got to go with I heard that was a great tour, though, Sabbath and Wasp.
Yeah, all those tours in the 80s, man, there were so many bands. I mean, now in 23, there's going to be a lot of bands on the road.
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah, I think all of us are ready. Okay, final question. This is a question I asked everybody that comes on. If there was an artist, dead or alive, dream collaboration, who would it be?
For me, it would be Michael Jackson.
Okay, and why?
He's the greatest of all time. Like 1.2 billion albums sold, unheard of, unmatched. The guy was literally a genius in every aspect, and he wrote his own music. So for me, it would be definitely working with Michael Jackson.
That's awesome. What about you, Danny?
Tough one. It's a real tough one. Let's say Dad, maybe Tom Petty.
Okay.
Yeah,
And why?
I'm just a huge Tom Petty fan. He's probably top 3 all time for me. And alive, I would say Paul McCartney.
Very cool.
Oh, did you say alive?
Dead or alive?
Okay.
Yeah, so I cheated. I gave 2 answers.
That's
the
okay.
way you should
Okay,
answer.
well, okay,
One dead,
Pete,
one alive.
answer. Okay, answer. Somebody alive, who would it be?
The guy that just was talking about Tom Petty.
Wow, he must owe you money, Danny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, come
That's
on, Pete.
awful nice. And you know what? I'm really not surprised by that answer. I mean, these two guys have been, inseparable for all those years, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Well, we've done so many good things, especially in the last 3 years. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what we can collaborate on again. So
Yeah, I mean, you guys have just been totally writing, and it's been great, hearing your music on Spotify. Why don't you tell the viewers, Pete, where they can find all your stuff on your website and stuff?
okay, so you got to ask Danny because I have no clue where they can find anything.
Okay, Danny, why don't you give us the 411-911?
All right. So the website is rockwithplayhouse.com, and Facebook is Playhouse Rocks. So at Playhouse Rocks. And then you ever hear of Linktree?
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to Linktree and Playhouse Rocks, and everything's there.
Very
So that's
cool.
probably the best one, right? Go to Linktree and you get it all. You get a YouTube channel.
Get them all. Okay.
You get our Instagram. You get direct links to Spotify. Right. Buy the CD. Everything's
Very
there.
cool.
It's a one-stop Playhouse shop.
Well, that's awesome. Doug, I want you to stick around. Pete, Danny, it was great having you on. I want you to come back once we get these tours going, so
Thank you.
Can, blow you guys up.
We appreciate you and all the support you give us and other bands, and the opportunity to keep on rocking. And to your fans, peace.
Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys soon. Okay.
All right. Take care of yourself. Cheers, Doug.
See you guys. Love you guys.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Okay, Doug, now it's me and you. So let's talk a little bit rock and roll here.
All right.
Okay. So next week, I'm going to invite you to come back on if you're available. Jeffrey Carlson will be the guest.
Oh, shit. That's my brother right there.
I know it's your bro, man.
Oh,
So
come on.
Why don't
We
you
go
come
way
back on?
too.
Yeah. Why don't you come
Wow,
back on?
when are you doing that? I'm
That's
in.
next-
when is that?
Next Sunday night, 7:00.
Count me in.
Yep. Okay, great. So I wanted to give you a minute or two here. Why don't you tell everybody about your record label?
Well, I don't even know where to start with that. It's been such a passion of mine. Everything having to do with it and John, the founder, my dear brother, and all the people I've met through it, Jeff Westlake, just the list goes on and on and on. We are in the process of working on a couple things that could be huge. I can't go into any of it right now. I'm the one that usually says too much, and I'm going to stop myself. But you'll be one of the first to know a couple things we're doing. We appreciate the people that take their time to get on these shows. There's a million other things they can do. They log in because they like to hear us yap about stuff. And I just wanted you all, I appreciate every one of you, even the ones that make fun of me. Whatever you are.
No, I appreciate all the followers. Make sure everybody likes and subscribes. There's going to be some great future guests coming up. Like I just said, Mr. Jeffrey Carlson will be our guest next Sunday night, 7:00.
ACB.
Yeah. Future guests, like I said, in the beginning of the show, we're going to have Faith in Failure on February 12th. Also, Mr. Justin Ross will be making an appearance. So there's going to be a lot of future guests. Future guests coming up, The Greed. They'll be on sometime in March. They are in the studio right now, recording a new record. So lots and lots of stuff going on, Doug. Lots of stuff.
I'm excited. What do you got? I know this coming Friday, I'll be going to my least favorite town on this planet to go to the Whiskey Friday to see Native Sons and Zenora, a band that I met through Eric Jake, who young dudes from New Jersey that are kicking a lot of ass.
They are killing it.
Them.
Zenora, if you guys are out there and you're watching this, I want you on the show. That is a great band, Doug.
Dylan Graff, I hope you're listening. That means you.
Yep. I'm also a really big fan of, what is it, Rival Sons that you're going to see on Friday?
Native Sons.
Native Sons. Yeah, another great band.
Very bluesy, very soulful. They're going places, I guarantee it.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. But yeah, Doug, it'll be great to have you back on next Sunday night with Mr. Jeffrey Carlson.
See you there, bro.
Okay, Doug. I'm
Thanks.
Hey,
Carol. Thank you. Thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for having us on. I can't tell you guys enough how much I love the band Playhouse. So it's always good to be on. And Carol, your show is kicking ass. Keep going.
Thank you so much, Doug, for all your support. Our friendship means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Next Sunday night, 7 p.m., Mr. Jeffrey Carlson. So I'm going to let you go, Doug. Have a great evening.
All right, thanks
and I'll see you. Keep it light, bro. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll be in, we'll chit chat back and forth like we always do.
We'll be in touch.
Okay. Take care. Good night, everybody.
I'm waiting for you to sign up. There he goes. Zoom. It's crazy. Zoom is crazy. But anyway, thank you to Playhouse, Peter, Cat, and Danny for coming on. Great interview. These guys are great. They have a lot of rock history. And they'll also be, recording some new music and hopefully playing out. That's the goal, because I want to see Playhouse live. So hopefully we can get them to Vegas sometime soon. Okay, so as I was saying, thank you for watching. Always like and subscribe. Thank you for sticking around in the beginning. These technical difficulties with Zoom. It's the internet. So anyway, we're going to keep rocking and rolling, folks. And thank you for your support. On the Rocks Total Entertainment will be back next week. So thanks for watching.